Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles, and so excited to have Miss Michele Smith on with us. Amazing lady doing some great things to make our world better. I'm so excited to have her on to highlight her and her journey. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Well, thank you for making the time. Like I just said before you hit record, any time in the room with Chip Baker is good time.
Let's go. Hey, we probably ought to warn them it's gonna be a good time, right? We probably ought to just go ahead and warn them about that.
Yeah, we've already spent some time in the room, so yeah. No, it's good stuff. So thank you, and I'm serious. I appreciate the opportunity.
Very welcome. Appreciate you coming on. Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, just kind of talk a little bit about your journey so people have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
The Reader's Digest version of Michele Smith. So the current stuff that I do, I call them swim lanes, and so I do executive coaching and leadership development, all levels of organization. So I say that because it's individual. I'm really fortunate to be able to connect and to be able to influence individual contributors through different platforms, as well as senior leaders in an organization. And in groups where people come together and the goal, Chip, really is to create better interactions among humans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's challenging enough as it is in this life and all the stuff going on. And I was listening to a podcast earlier just about, AI and the exciting opportunities. And do we view it as this threat that we kind of hunker down and get fear-based and shut down and not be able to think, or do we view it as tremendous opportunity? And I think that's the shift that I'm really passionate about helping people make. And it's not just around AI, but it's around how are we viewing life and the opportunities and things that happen to us as they're happening to us or they're happening for us so that we have learning opportunities. So anyway, my background is, I refer to it's a mixed bag of tricks. So I was undergrad in IT, master's in health administration. I was in healthcare, support services of healthcare, so I did not provide direct patient care. I have issues with smell, so I couldn't, it would not be good. I care deeply for people, but I'm going to support them where I've actually got strength and capability. But from 1998 until 2021, when I left the organization I worked for and then became self-employed, I have a brief stint at another organization related to healthcare. It was on the health plan side, which is a completely different animal than the delivery of healthcare. Met some other amazing humans and some that aren't so amazing. So, and it's just life. What is the Forrest Gump? Life's like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. Or a mixed bag of tricks.
There you go. And I have been fortunate, blessed, if you will, to do a lot of different things. When I was at Sutter Health, which was a bulk of my career for 17 and a half years, I went from finance director at a hospital. I became a lean consultant, process improvement. So one of the things that you can do at a large organization is completely change roles and jobs and what you do and not leave the company.
Yeah.
So, I went from finance to process improvement. There was a new role that was manager of education and standards. So it was pulling together all the different flavors, if you will, of lean methodologies, process improvement across the organization. And so I was fortunate to be in that and kind of start to pull things together, which is an interesting animal. And then the final role that I have is a director of the improvement system for a section of the organization. So I had 16 direct reports, so 16 people on my team when COVID hit. And it was an amazing opportunity to see leaders and people respond and come together, and all of a sudden, all the things that we couldn't do because of all the red tape and the bureaucracy and everything else, it was gone in an instant. People came together, people problem solved, people did stuff they couldn't do before. There was one physician leader I know, he commented, he said, we've literally walked through a time machine and we're 2.5 years in the future. I mean, and that's how quickly stuff came together. So it was a really exciting time and a very exhausting time. So, because it was, early in the morning, and I wasn't on the front line, and so I can imagine what it felt like to be on the front line.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
they really had to think outside with no box required.
Yes, just like my sign. From my granddaughter, not the oldest one, but from my granddaughter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of my path, and along that I got exposed to coaching. And you look back, and I'm sure you do it too. There's been some level of leadership development probably forever in my body, career, whatever that looked like. And then at some point made it official. So I went through, and got certified, went through training, got certified as an executive coach. And that's the stuff that fills my cup, is all the human skills. They used to call them soft skills. Some people still do, but they're hard. So it's more like human skills kind of fits the bill. And I love the stuff. I love the shifts that I can see people make, right in front of me. And it's very rewarding.
So good. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
You're so funny. So you had these questions at the beginning that you asked beforehand, and I had to think, because you can go to this, impact kind of thing. But I wrote them down, Chip, because this is what came to mind for me, is raising good humans. So I have 2 kids that took 2 completely different paths in life. They're both in their 40s now. The youngest just turned 40. And they're both at a point that I am so incredibly proud of them and the choices they make, and the just who they are as people, and giving back, and it's a cool thing. So I'm going to say that.
Okay.
And it's almost like coaching, right? You have a role in it. That being said, the other people have to do the work. So as a coach, the client comes back and goes, "Oh my God, if it wasn't for you," and I'm like, "Okay, let me just make one thing really clear. Okay, I can plant the seeds. I can hold the mirror. I can do the stuff, but I'm not the one doing the stuff in the room when it needs to happen. You are." And it's the same thing with your kids. So proudest moment because there was some influence there, and to be proud of someone else. The other is I am an effective coach, and I'm proud of that. It makes me feel good. The words that people use sometimes describe their experience in their lives, like transformative. So when you have humans, because I'm not with them every day, I'm not in their bodies feeling what they're feeling. I can see it when I'm in the room with them. I can feel it. But when people say their lives and how they experience life is transformed, and I see it in the energy shift and how they show up and all that stuff, that's freaking awesome to be able to do that. So that's one of the things. And then the last one is this flip side of the first one, is my kids are proud of me. And, I look back at, it was probably a Hallmark movie or something, because I do like Hallmark movies because they're predictable endings. People are happy, But but it was one of those things that, you have a certain age that the kids are just mortified if you tell them you love them or give them a hug in front of their friends. And to have that full circle thing where they come back and it's like, my son said to somebody, my mom's a badass. And I'm like, okay, I don't know that I would describe myself that way, but so that's the other thing that I'll say.
Good. So good. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey and the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
God, that's a freaking tough one. And what I want to say before I kind of unpack it, because I don't know there's this end thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, when I do this thing, because I teach so much about happiness advantage and not putting that on the cognitive horizon, if you will, on the other side of some goal that you have to accomplish. I think it's super, super important for us to not assume that our definition, whatever that may be, is the same as someone else's, because it's a common word. I mean, and when you say success, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I've got an idea of success, and you do too. And if I walk away thinking yours is mine and mine is yours, huge mistake.
Right.
But for me, success is different, Chip, depending on what the thing is.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, it's about just feeling good about the thing, whatever the thing is, right? And it could be, launching a podcast, a really great episode.
Yeah.
I had a coach one time tell me, because every time when I get off a coaching session, I'm just like, I feel so blessed and grateful. And it's like, I get done, I'm like, that was a really cool human. It was awesome to be in the room with them. And, after we get off, that's the feeling that I have. And her challenge to me was, you need to be celebrating you in that moment too, right? Because it's not just the other person, it's whatever impact that you had. And so for me, those are moments of success when, the stuff works. It made a difference. It's closer or better than it was before. But it's not an ultimate. I take them in milestones, if you will. And so it's just those feel good. Is it better than what it was? Did I get close to whatever? And it's not like, oh, wow, I lived another day. There's a little bit more to it than that.
No, it's deep.
I woke up in the morning. It's like, okay, so it's more than that.
Yeah, it's deep.
But it's just, is it good? Is it right? Was I able to help? All those things contribute to it.
So good. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love with all the amazing things you have going on.
So that would be awesome. And I'm here to help. And I do want to be in the room with you again. So
let's go.
Do you want me to share with you now about what that stuff is, or are you just going to put it in description? What's your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, so here on the interview, like I would love for the audience to go, follow if you have LinkedIn or something like that, or your website, or
yes,
they can go see if
all of the above.
If they would like to check out your coaching services.
Thank you. Okay, then. Yeah. And so, you know what I love, what I've done? I don't think everyone does this. You may have, but I actually did an option for people that's like pay as you go. So here's a Calendly link and you can schedule it and you just pay as you go instead of contracts. Cause I'm resistant. I don't lead with tools and templates. And so
I love it.
I have that option, which works out great for people. So they don't have to, and there's other things that they can buy packages too. But that being said, my company is Better Possibilities, and that was intentional. It's BetterPossibilities. And I did not think about how complicated possibilities was to spell when you put it in the email address. So bad on me, but that's what it is. The website is www.betterpossibilities.com. I can be reached. Email at Michele, Michele, just one L, at betterpossibilities.com. I am on LinkedIn. So is the business, and Instagram is Better Possibilities, at Better Possibilities.
There you
So
go.
I'm also on Facebook too, but not as much. Not as much. I mean, I'll still post. So I have a podcast, as you know.
I
Chip's been a
do.
guest on that.
Yes.
And it's Leadership Soundbites. And so we're in our 4th year, and I aspire to be Chip in 8 years in Success Chronicles. And it's a passion project. So the whole idea, and it's so funny because I'm also a coach with Coach Hub, which is a digital coaching platform. And that's when I first really got exposed to the term democratized. So Coach Hub, their goal is to democratize coaching. And that became, even though I've got to find a better word that doesn't sound so clinical and like, corporate-y. But it's the gist of what I want is like, how can we get development, coaching, all this stuff in the hands of more people who don't typically have access to it? That's kind of the goal through a lot of this stuff. So the podcast, that's the reason, I know you've got your work that you're doing and high school students and everything else. So that's partially it. And so if people listening would love to be a guest on the podcast, reach out.
Awesome.
I love to hear from people on their journeys like you do, Chip, and nuggets they can share with other people. My platform's a little bit different, even though it's a conversation. It's not quite interview stuff because you and I chatted a lot on that one. But I love to hear from people and perspectives so that, I might say something 10 times and you come on and say it once and they go, oh my God, look what Chip said. Oh my God, it makes so much sense. So that's why it's so important to have different people and different voices so that it resonates.
So good.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. I truly appreciate it. And I wish you continued success.
Thank you, sir. Until next time.
Yes, yes. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.